Peace, family. So I'm back with another one, you know what I'm saying? So today what I want to do is I want to talk to my chosen ones about the computer being modeled behind you, you know what I'm saying? Your vessel, the whole collective idea of the human anatomy, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to discuss this because this also has to do with reprogramming and rehardwiring yourself eternally, you know what I'm saying? So even when I was young, I used to think of like when they started putting the computers in the schools and stuff, because we didn't have computers in the houses the way they have them now. But it was always interesting being able to use them at the schools and thinking of like how basic it was at the time when we used it to how advanced and like all this technology and the computers have came along with them just constantly remodeling behind us. And then once we got to the apps, and really it's applications, but you know everything is abbreviated out here. Once we got to the applications, that's when things started to kind of start connecting dots, because I'm already of that age already anyways when all of that starts coming about. So I started thinking about how a dis-ease for our vessels is a virus or some kind of malfunction within the computer. Then we have these applications on the computers, whether it's from social media apps to a calculator to, you know, just whatever you want to add on there, because it's a whole application store. So whatever apps you want to put on there and whatever apps already come on there. And then you have the human anatomy, which we are all raised in different households, which all have different rules to a certain extent. But for the most part, we all have the hard, same blueprint baseline, whether you was raised in the cult-like household or whether you was raised in, you know, a healthy upbringing household. But you have apps installed on you from your upbringing, and that's been placed on you throughout your life growing up. And as you get to your space and start growing and ascending, you start to understand that more. Before I started ascending, I always kind of been sharp and had this kind of intuitiveness, but I always used to use sport analogies because I played sports. I was great at football and basketball. I played all the other sports too, but those was my main two I loved to dominate in. But I always used to use sports as analogies. But as you grow and you get more information and you download more apps onto your software, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have to use the same analogies anymore. And I realized, like, as I was talking to somebody the other day, I was like, damn, I don't use sport analogies anymore. I guess because I removed that application from my software, so I wasn't playing it anymore. Not even for recreational, because I've been just maneuvering, doing other things, and then I also don't watch it or do anything in that field anymore. So then it made me want to like bring this topic to discussion, because we all deal with computers and phones every day. So if you look at your hardwiring the same way as your computer or your cell phone, you know what I'm saying, you will get a better understanding of the things you have to do in order to remove certain apps from your own software. So when you start ascending, you start realizing like, okay, I've been moving not backwards, but it's like I've been walking like a crab. You know how a crab walks sideways. It's like, what the fuck? So it's like you have all these other apps that's been installed on you, but it's not the apps that you wanted installed on you. It wasn't the ones that you placed on there. They was just the ones that came with your software. And as you was getting older, they was upgrading the software, and they just kept throwing more apps. It's no different than these phones. Every time they want to upgrade or do something, you might get another new app that's stuck on there. You know what I'm saying? Some they let you delete, some they don't. But it's the same thing with the technology in us. Is where they getting these mimics from. And it's like when we're at a disease or the computer gets a virus, you got to get some kind of malware. You got to kind of go inside to figure out what the hell is going on and do some pulling, some digging, some cleaning, you know, some removing some things. It's some work that you have to do in order to get the virus off of your computer. You know what I'm saying? And it's no different than when we have these diseases that goes on with our vessels. You know what I'm saying? Then you have other things that happen with the computer where you're constantly getting advertisements popping up on you and all these little random ass commercials popping up on you. No different than when you're just vibing in your space and you're getting random thoughts flying to you that's not yours. And it's like you might have been meditating, thinking about, you know, the sun and stargazing, and then all of a sudden like chicken pop into your mind, like you're not even hungry. You know what I'm saying? It's like an advertisement because we've seen it so much. These programs is just up here. So we have to take the steps in which we usually start doing once we start becoming aware. Oh shit, I got all these apps on my software. I need to get some of these apps off of here. You know what I'm saying? Let me start taking some of this shit off. Even I do that on my phone, even if I have too many up there and my daughter start putting too many up there. It's like, it's too many up here. These are not being used. You know what I'm saying? We have to get a deeper understanding of the amount of time and energy they put into these computers and phones to get them to mimic us, to get them to kind of mock us. These are the robots. We keep expecting to kind of see like robots walking around and moving like us, you know what I'm saying? But you don't have to do that when they can just put one right beside you and it just mimics you and you take it around with you everywhere already anyways. You know what I'm saying? So when I got to a place and I started sending, for me, I took the hard route to start removing apps, you know? I just held the button, hit the X and delete it. I didn't think about it. I didn't ponder on it. For me, it was sports. I used to be big into sports. I stopped watching sports. I used to be a Philly fan, an Eagles fan. I'm from Syracuse, New York, so I follow him all the way from Syracuse, you know, all the way to Philly when he played with the Eagles. They never won a Super Bowl. I realized all the sports shit was rigged. I don't even want to dive into that shit right now. But I removed the sports app. There was no more sports. I was one of them guys who used to live on BET, MTV, ESPN 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? Sports Center, everything. You know what I'm saying? But it was like removing the sports apps made me be able to look more at the other apps that I still had on my software. And it's like, what's this over here? Indoctrination, schooling, Christopher Columbus, slavery. It start making me go through and start removing all these apps and programs that they placed on me. Once I start removing those apps, and I only had these couple apps in my software, I was able to fine tune these apps and start upgrading them myself. You know what I'm saying? Because you are the creator of you within. So for me, it was like, shit, I'll just create new apps. I don't need to go get no apps from nowhere else. I'll create new apps to put on this software. But you can also get assistance from other healthy apps out there. But the thing with the applications is, it's no different than the App Store. You have to know what you're going in there looking for. You know what I'm saying? You have to type it in specifically because there's hundreds and thousands of apps out ready to be installed on you. You know what I'm saying? Right now, ready to be installed. So get into that space and understanding that the same way you gotta keep your computer charged up and healthy. You don't want it running dead. You don't want too many windows open because it slow you down. When you got a lot of windows open, I was just telling somebody else the other day, having a lot of windows open on the computer is like trying to multitask in your spirit realm. You know what I'm saying? Eventually something is gonna bump because you got too many things processing. The less things you have processing, the faster your processor is gonna work. So long as we stay tapped in and making sure we downloading healthy apps onto our software, we removing the bullshit apps that we have on there, whether we put them up there because we thought it was fun and we wanted to just try it out like a Pokemon Go kind of thing, you know what I'm saying, or whether it was put on there by the programmers. You know, I don't need a Fitbit bracelet. I don't need you tracking me and keeping up with me. They tell me that it's for me, but I know anything that y'all give me that's for me is for y'all as well. Everything is third party, you know what I'm saying? So you'll never get anything or do anything with technology and expect privacy. Don't expect no privacy with technology. That's stupid. Stupid. If I want privacy, I get the fuck away from technology. Get the fuck away from it. Other than that, you don't have to worry about the other chaos that's going on in the mix. So I just wanted to drop that up there for y'all today. You know what I'm saying? We are the main source base of these computers and these phones and these applications and things. You know what I'm saying? We have to remove these apps and we have to download some newer, healthier apps. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep our processors tapped in and make sure they're working fully. Don't have too many windows open. Make sure you got some things closed if you got too much going on at one time. You know what I'm saying? And you constantly have to check for viruses, because you don't want to wait till one just hit your computer and then fuck your shit all up and then it crash and then start destroying the rest of the shit. Now you got files in there that's fucked up that you can't even get back. Damn. But yeah. Drop it down to everything below, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to run it up. We got these big ass airplanes flying around. It's just doing too much out here today, you know what I'm saying? I would be filming out a lot more, but this weather is so tricky. That's why I've been inside and bouncing around back and forth, because some days it'd be too cold and it's been some issues with the wind. So I know. I'm gonna let them talk for a little bit. They knew I was wrapping it up, so it's just a couple of them out here today. They was literally chilling, vibing. I know, but I'm gonna leave it right there for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Peace to the kings and queens.